What if the biggest challenge stopping people from switching to electric cars actually isn't the technology at all? I'm Craig, this is EV Unplugged. Today we're going to take a little look into the psychology of why people may be resisting the transition from petrol to EV. So today we're looking at how the key to solving range anxiety, that fear of running out of charge, might not be found in the lab or the workshop, but in our minds. So behavioural economist Rory Sutherland has spent decades studying why people make the decisions they do, and he believes we're spending billions fixing the wrong part of the EV problem. So let's break down the phrase range anxiety. It's two words, range and anxiety. One is technological and the other is psychological. We've poured fortunes into solving range. Every year batteries grow larger, cars get heavier and range figures climb. But most people already have enough range than what they already need. In the UK, the average daily drive is under 30 miles. Even the most modest EVs can cover that 8 to 10 times over. Yet drivers still say, I need 400 miles just in case. That just in case is fear talking, not logic. It's emotion. And it drives the demand for oversized batteries, higher prices and heavier cars, all to calm an anxiety that very rarely appears in real life. Rory's insight is simple but powerful. Instead of solving range, solve the anxiety about range. If we can make people feel secure, confident and informed, we could ease the biggest barrier to EV adoption and do it faster and make cars cheaper. The challenge isn't energy density, it's emotional density. Think about what truly reassures people. Petrol stations. They're impossible to miss. Bright lights, tall signs, massive logo shouting, you can fuel here. Often tucked behind supermarkets or hidden behind the bins in some dimly lit corner. That invisibility fuels the fear that charging is rare or inconvenient, even when thousands of chargers are out there. The fix isn't just build more chargers though. It's making them visible and obvious and trustworthy. The human brain loves familiarity. If people saw a charger every time they spotted a petrol station, their confidence would soar, even if they never used it. Visibility builds confidence, and confidence drives adoption. So let's talk about the speed illusion. So here's a little fun fact about psychology, one that affects how we drive and how we charge. Picture this, you're on the motorway, you're doing 60 miles an hour. You push it up to 70. Feels faster, right? But over 10 miles, you'll save less than 1 minute. That's it. Meanwhile, your braking distance, reaction time, and potential risk of having a collision all increase. You're taking on more danger for almost no reward. And EVs use more energy the faster they go. The same logic applies to EV charging though. Most drivers fixate on reaching 100%, thinking that's the smartest move for long trips. But once your battery hits around 80%, charging speeds drop sharply. That's the charging curve. At that point, the car reduces power to protect the battery. So those final few kilowatt hours crawl in very slowly. Waiting from 80 to 100% can add 20 to 30 minutes on your charging time. For what? A range extension of maybe 30 miles? You'd be quicker unplugging 80%. Driving off and doing another charge further down the road. Just like speeding, chasing that last 20% feels productive, but rarely makes you any faster. And underneath it all, the anxiety isn't about time, it's about uncertainty. If your car says charging time, 25 minutes remaining, you're fine. You grab a coffee and you relax. But if it says charging with no end in sight, your brain fills that silence with worry. That's why we hate seeing delayed on an airport screen, but feel calm when it says departing at 6:45. We don't need perfection, we need predictability. So instead of obsessing over faster chargers or massive batteries, maybe the smarter solution is simple, clear, honest information. And the confidence to know that 80% is enough. Because anxiety doesn't come from waiting, it comes from not knowing how long you'll have to wait. Big ideas always face resistance, not because they're bad, but because they're new. Remember when mobile phones were considered rude? Or when car fans swore they'd never give up their manual gears? Now those same people cannot imagine life without either. Every innovation follows the same curve. Early confusion, slow adoption, then explosive growth. These are in the middle of that curve at the moment. Behavioral scientists call it Moid curve. Slow at first, then unstoppable once it reaches critical mass. We're not battling technology here, we're battling habit. That's why 95% of EV drivers say they'll never go back to petrol. Once you've felt the instant torque, the silent motion and one pedal driving, it's hard to unfeel it. But stats alone won't convince anyone. Experience will. That's why Rory suggests longer test drives. 2 weeks, not 2 days. It takes time for this. This feels weird to, actually this feels kind of normal. Because the real obstacle isn't the car. It's comfort with change. And unfortunately, the older we get, the less comfortable we are with change. That's why I'm hoping this channel really speaks to those that are 40 plus, shall we say. So once electric feels ordinary, adoption takes care of itself. And we need incentives that work. So instead of pouring money into blanket subsidies, why not fund experiences? Let people try an EV long enough to actually fall in love with it. Guarantee easy access to chargers during test drives. Even create smart pricing systems. The last 2 chargers at a busy site cost a little bit more per kilowatt hour, keeping them free for those that actually do need them. Small, smart nudges often work better than big blunt incentives. Now let's talk about the magic of emotion. No, it's not a Disney movie. It's the same reason Heathrow pods feel magical. They're not faster than buses, they just feel better. That's the secret to great design. Delight. Make something feel effortless, futuristic, even fun, and people will change their behaviour willingly. And EVs are definitely fun to drive. So maybe the future of electric mobility isn't about bigger batteries, longer range or faster chargers. Maybe it's just understanding people, designing cars and systems that match human psychology instead of fighting it. If engineers focus on technical perfection and psychologists focus on emotional ease, we'll move faster towards a cleaner, smarter transportation system in the future. Because people don't buy technology, they buy how it makes them feel inside. Confidence, convenience, control. That's the real energy source behind any great transition. So thank you for watching. If this changed how you thought about EVs, please hit the like button, share your thoughts below and subscribe for more news bulletins about EVs and electrical charging. If you have that one friend who is completely against EVs, then why not ask them why they are against EVs? And generally it will be because there's nowhere to charge them or they're too expensive. By overcoming the psychology, we can reduce both of those. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. So thank you for liking and subscribing. It costs you nothing. It does really help me grow the channel, and I really do appreciate every single one. And whilst you're here, why don't you have a look at this video about how you can actually earn from charging your EV car. And I'll see you in the next video.